sophomore point guard, Pedulla, in person. Raise your hand. We'll call on you.
That's talking to me.
Yeah, I got mine.
I'm like, yeah, I'm right here.
I got it quick. You got Sooner born, Sooner bred. When you die, you Sooner dead.
Nah.
Hey, Sean. First of all, thanks for your time. And I got to ask you, Coach Young, talked about you coming here and your visit here. If you could talk about that a little more. It seemed like I said, your mom, y'all took it upon yourself to come here and check out the campus. Obviously, Oklahoma State was checking you out. But just talk about that time when you came and visited the campus and you kind of went in to see some of the facilities.
Yeah, so my recruitment was definitely a little different just because of COVID, and we couldn't take any official or unofficial visits. So I kind of, like during my recruitment, I was telling Coach Giltner and Coach Young that I really wanted to, before I committed to any school, I really wanted to see it in person. And they were kind of telling me, like, we obviously can't help you out with that, but you can come here by yourself if you wanted to. And I kind of proposed that idea to them and telling them that me and both my parents wanted to come up here and see the campus for ourselves. And we did that. And as far as stepping foot on a campus and realizing where it's a place you want to be, like, it was crazy. I stepped foot on campus and it was like, yeah, this is a place I want to be. So we got here and it was kind of funny. Like, my parents and I were driving down Washington Street, and as we were driving down, we saw Coach Young and some of the staff, like, taking a walk. Like, they were just on their afternoon walk. And I remember thinking it was, like, the craziest thing. Like, I'm on a visit here. I've been talking to these coaches for months, and I can't even, like, roll down the window and say hi to them, which was crazy. But, yeah, just seeing the facility and we obviously couldn't get the same experience as a visit would be like, but walking around campus and just seeing the different places, it was so beautiful. It caught me off guard, so it was great.
Thanks, sir.
Coach mentioned that last year when you all went to play in the scrimmage, you didn't get much playing time, and he said you didn't sulk, your head wasn't down, you were just a consummate teammate. From that point to today, how has the growth been?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I think I remember that day and I remember that scrimmage. I remember thinking to myself, like, there's two options in this. I can obviously, like, pout and do that, but it could also be a test, and he could also have done that on purpose and see my reaction. So I acted like it didn't faze me at all. Like, I obviously wish I played a little bit more, but I knew I was like, the best way to go about it is just head down, keep working, and act like it didn't faze me. And as far as growth from that point to until now, I think that same mentality of just no matter what happens, no matter, like, a loss or anything else, it's just the same approach. Just keep working. Even like the good times where we won ACC championship, like, we're not satisfied with just that. So it's the same mentality just every day.
You seem to have a really good relationship last year with Storm. What was that relationship like? Do you still talk to him? What have you learned from him?
Yeah, we were really close. We were roommates on the road, so we were with each other, like, all the time. And as far as someone who knew exactly what Coach Young wants and knew what he wanted on the court, he was probably the best guy as far as showing me that and saying, like, if he wants this action or this play, he's looking at this action. And I think his time with Coach Young at Wofford and here was definitely, like, the best aid in helping me, especially at an early age in college and a new guy. He was perfect for that. So, yeah, I also still talk to him. Yeah, I asked him the other day how he was doing in Germany, so he's doing well.
Were the conversations in the hotel room all basketball related?
No, probably, like, rarely ever. Rarely ever. We had a tradition of, like, Uber or what's it called? Uber Eats, like McDonald's, Sprites, before every game. It was probably not good for us, but it was like our little thing. So, yeah, those are good.
Sean, Coach mentioned that you guys are scrimmaging Liberty here in the preseason. Darius McGee led the country in three-point shooting last year. Is it kind of a good litmus test for this team to face a player of that caliber in sort of that preseason scrimmage environment?
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely known that and known him that we're going to be scrimmaging him in a couple of weeks. But I remember scrimmaging him last year, and I was like, dang, this guy is good. Like, the shots he was hitting. So that's something I'm looking forward to, just playing him and seeing how much he's gotten better and how much I've gotten better and how different that experience will be as far as last year's first scrimmage with someone like that till now. I think it'll be a good test to start this year off.
Eric?
you mentioned your growth over last season. Where is that, and what is the next step of your growth, considering you could be a more pivotal role in the offense this season?
Yeah, I think it's just last year's role was a lot different for me to this year. I think last year I was kind of like questioning what my role was at times, and it changed throughout the season a lot. But I think going into this season, I'm pretty sure, and the coaches are doing a good job of like telling me exactly what my role is going to be and what I'm supposed to be looking at. So I think taking all those things that I did well last season and just amplifying all those because I will have a lot more responsibility. But then also taking the things I did poorly in last year and like taking care of the ball more and realizing that if I'm going to have this bigger role, I got to take more ownership on the things that I did wrong last year and make sure I get down on those. So.
What do you remember about those free throws at the end of the NC State game last year in Raleigh?
I just remember I was so nervous. I remember my hands were sweaty, and the ball was different because it was an Adidas ball. And I was like, gosh, I just got to hit these free throws. But I remember wiping my hands off like for 20 seconds straight just on my shorts. But I remember thinking like, and I think I said this to you after that game when you interviewed. I was like, I've shot thousands of free throws, and the only thing different about this one is that a couple thousand people are watching me. So just do the same thing I usually do, and it ended up working, obviously.
What are your personal goals for this season?
Personal goals for this season is just to be a lot better leader than I was last year, and obviously it was different for me to lead last year, just coming in as a freshman and a new guy. It was kind of like you kind of wonder how much you can talk in practice and stuff. But this year, I'd say personal leadership and getting guys like the transfers and the new guys here, just showing them exactly what the coaches want, and taking that ownership role a little bit different than last year. That's one leadership goal that I have that's for this season.
Sam.
Sean, you and Darius were such a spark off the bench when you guys were winning last year. What's your relationship kind of like in the backcourt, and now coming into a bigger role this year? What sort of is it different coming off the bench than starting, or what's that mentality kind of like?
Yeah, as far as Darius and I, we had a lot of conversations last year and this year just about our roles. And, like, I remember going into games, we kind of, like, wonder, like, this game we're probably going to have to score a little bit more. So, like, don't hesitate. If I have to, don't hesitate to shoot it. And that's more of the same for this upcoming season. It's just even more so just because we'll have bigger roles. But we realize that with these bigger roles, we're going to have to defend for longer, play without fouling, get guys open, just those type of things. So, yeah, we've talked about that. We've had those conversations. And, yeah, we're both looking forward to getting a bigger opportunity this year.
Go to Zoom, David Teal.
Sean, with you and Hunter and Darius back, could this team be an even better three-point shooting squad than a year ago when you were third in the country?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously, like, the people know how talented of shooters we have, and I think with us getting a bigger opportunity and us working together for a whole nother year and getting a whole nother year of chemistry under our belt, and also a whole nother year of Darius and I, like, getting more confidence, getting more reps under our belt. I think it's just making us more confident, and it's building us up for a better opportunity to possibly be a better shooting team than last year. But we'll see.
And given all that Justin has accomplished academically and athletically, do younger guys on the team just naturally look to him for guidance?
Yeah, I'd definitely say him and Hunter, but definitely Justin, just because he's been here for so long, or he's been in the college environment for so long, and we have so many freshmen and new guys. It's just kind of natural to look to Justin. He's kind of like the dad of the group, or like the coach of the group. Like, Justin, what time should we show up for this? He's like, he knows everything basically. So the freshmen definitely are the ones that look up to him, and even myself and the rest of the guys. It's just kind of natural to look to him for advice, or even if you're questioning something as far as basketball or on the court. He just basically, like I said, he knows exactly the answer, and he gives you what you want to hear. So he's good with that.
You guys went from that high of winning 4 in 4 days in Brooklyn to the disappointment of falling to Texas in Milwaukee. What was that like, and what lessons do you take from that experience?
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy experience as far as emotional roller coaster, just because I told someone else this earlier, like the eye-opening experience it was to win the ACC championship that year, in my first year in college as a freshman, which was crazy, and then realizing that we're playing in March Madness, which is another goal that I've had growing up, was even more crazy. And then like losing to Texas, it was like, dang, like it was an awesome season, but like I wish we went further. And I remember telling people like the ACC championship was a great accomplishment, it was a great goal, but it wasn't like the end-all be-all that year, and it's more of the same going forward. Just it gives us more opportunity and more games to look forward to this next season.
Thank you.
What is Grant Basile like, and how have you and the rest of the starters meshed with him?
As far as like a person?
Yeah, both on and off the court. What's he like?
Yeah, I'd say he's a super enjoyable person to be around, and he's an easy guy to get along with. And I think that's a great thing to have as far as a new person, because he kind of just rolls with the punches, and he might learn something here that he's not used to, and he's like, oh well, I guess that's how it's going to be, so let's do it. So as far as a new guy, and he's also an older guy, so for a transfer to come in and be like that to all the rest of our team, I think it's a great thing to have, and he's easy to play with. So.
Thanks, Sean.
Yep.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you guys.